We just got back from experiencing a 7-day cruise from Los Angeles down to Puerto Vallarta. One of our first stops, though, was a stop in Cabo. We needed to tender from our cruise ship to the dock, and this is some of our experience. I just wanted to share that with you because on this excursion, we spent $0, which is unique. That was our first view of Cabo, and we came in to the bay. And over here is the most famous beach, Lover's Beach. But you do have to spend money to get there. So we decided not to go to that location. So where did we go? Well, we went to the public beach in Cabo, and that was an experience that we weren't expecting. So come with us today, and we're going to take you on our experience to Cabo. Here is a view of all the resorts that we had from our cruise ship. It was quite the view. Now, tendering, this is involves tons of boats going to and from the port. You had to go get numbers in order to be called when your time was. You went down to the bottom of the boat and through the security alarms to make sure that there was nothing we were taking with us into Mexico. And then once you got through that, we entered through the side doors on this balcony as the boat is going up and down. You're going to get a better view of this. This is what it means to tender. And this was free to all of the cruise ship passengers, which is something important to note. But I want you to see how much the boat is moving up and down, and the plank that we had to go on to and from. It would make the entrance shorter as it moved up and down. A little bit freaky to hop on, but once we were on the boat, everything was nice and safe and secure. As we head into, we had one of the double-decker boats, but there were also smaller boats that were used to transport guests back and forth to Cabo. First close-up view of the shoreline. And then we spotted this fellow catching a ride. He was eating the fish as they were throwing him out. And you can see the storks there following close behind, but this was hilarious. We didn't know at the time, but we were going to interact with him again just a few minutes later. When you get off the boat, you're immediately surrounded by tons of individuals trying to sell you excursions you can go on and different types of things you can see and do while you're there. It's a little overwhelming, I have to admit. We walked a little bit further down the street front there, and we ran into the sea lion again. This time, I don't know whether this is just one of the local fishermen or whatnot, but he was helping these young ladies get a picture. So he was enticing the sea lion with the fish while she was petting it, and I was definitely not going to get that close. So this is my view of how close I'm going to get to a sea lion. We used our Google Maps in order to direct us to the location of the beach, and it really was not a far walk at all. Now, it was a Sunday afternoon, and so I think the beach was a little bit busier than you would normally find it because it was a weekend, and of course, everybody from Mexico has Sunday off. Well, at least these guys did. But we put the camera on a time lapse just so you could see how many boats were going in and out of the bay. Now, where most of the boats were going was taking people to Lover's Beach, as that is a well-known tourist location. We were here for a couple of hours, but it was later in the afternoon because we didn't get off the boat till 2 o'clock, and so we knew we were losing sunshine. I have to admit, we did not both go into the water. I found it a little chilly. I have to admit, I must be a fair weather ocean goer, and then we decided to hop on the boat. It was that quick. But we knew we had a time limit, and the reason why is there was a set time you had to be back on the cruise ship, and we did not want to push our luck because we did not schedule this time off the boat with the cruise ship, so they would not hold the boat for us. We want to make sure that we were well back on the boat with more than enough time. These huge sailboats that are more like a pirate ship, what they look like to me, would be wonderful to cruise on. I mean, I would love to hop on a boat and see what that felt like compared to a motorboat, but they have all these little boats coming in and out, as you saw in the time lapse. Here we're going to get a view of the beach from the water so you can see what the public beach looked like. And yeah, there were a lot of people, even though the sun was just beginning to set because we were losing sun as it was setting behind that rocky mountain. But as you can tell, there is a good stretch of sand there that has lots of space for people to come and visit and hang out for the day. As we sail back to the cruise ship, I want you to listen to the Mexico music that was playing. Now, I have turned it down in the volume so you can hear me talking, but it was so loud. It was blaring. And I guess that was a way they kept us entertained. But if you don't like loud noises, just be forewarned that's going to happen. And on the right side here gives you a view of the number of boats that are traveling to and from Lovers Beach. I was trying to get a good view of the cruise ship so that I could use that a couple times. But I mean, this is a huge ship. It's hard to get a good perspective of it. So here we are coming up to the side of the boat again so that we can unload. This is what one of the smaller boats use. This is a different way that they were able to get on and off. And here's another perspective of what that looked like from the fourth deck. This is how we entered and exited the tendering boat. So our dinner time was at 8:30 at night, so I still had quite a bit of an evening in order to enjoy the view off the boat of Cabo. And so there's those two ships, and then I was able to record the sun setting over the mountains. Now those are nowhere near the size of the Canadian Rocky Mountains that I'm used to and call home, but it still was a gorgeous sight. And I love watching in high speed all the boats coming in and out of the bay. One last view as I scan the horizon. There's one last tendering boat coming in, and here's a great view. We're standing on the helideck pad, and now you're going to get a view of the front of the cruise ship all the way around. Now, it did a full 360 turn before it left Cabo, and I'm wrong. This is the very last boat. Look at how full that boat is, and that was the biggest boat coming to and from the cruise ship. And as I was walking back in to get dressed, I saw this couple who looked like they got married today. So here's the question for you. Where did they get married? Was it on shore or was it on the boat? And would that be considered in Mexico if it's in Mexican waters? Thanks for watching this week's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'd love for you to subscribe. See you next week.